What do you do when a customer tells you, or a prospective customer tells you that your price is too high? That's something a lot of us, for those of us who are self-employed, it's something that we face on a weekly basis, sometimes almost on a daily basis. Now, the typical reaction, at least before we get into business for ourselves, is that we take this thing personal, and it's almost like a blow to our self-esteem. And also, first of all, people usually take it personal and then they start backtracking, which is not the best way to handle these sorts of things. Now, in my previous videos, for those of you who've been following, you'll remember that I said whenever you get any pushback from your customers, the right thing to do, or rather the best thing to do, is actually to ask a couple of questions. The questions are going to help get you to the root of what it is that the customer is thinking, and with the better information that you have, you're then better prepared to respond to the pushback that you've just been given. So in this case, I just finished a meeting now with a prospective customer, and it's going to be a 60th birthday party, and I've gone through the package with them and everything. And of course, they said my price is too high. Now, my response was not to say, okay, how much can you afford, or to back down on the price. There are different ways that you can ask questions concerning this, but what I try to do is to find out their basis for saying the price is too high. So typically, I would have said something like, in mock surprise, like the price is too high. What gives you that? What gives you that? Where'd you get that opinion from? Who else have you been asking for a quote? That way, you get to get a sense of who it is that they've been talking to and the kind of service provider that they're looking for. So in this case, that will give me a sense of the kind of photographer they're looking for, and then I'll know if it's a bid that I'm overqualified for, and maybe I shouldn't even bother bidding. But in this case, since the client and I have gotten real conversational, what I just did was I smiled, I looked back at her, and I said, "So you guys haven't planned a party in a really long time, have you?" And that got us talking about the parties that they've planned before, the vendors that they've used, the photographers that they've used, the kind of service that they've gotten. And then I got a sense that, truly it's something that I'm overqualified for, and perhaps I shouldn't be putting in a bid. Now, the reason why I'm using that word overqualified and saying you shouldn't put in a bid is because even though we shouldn't take these things personal, after a while, you achieve a certain level of, should I say, expertise, or a certain level of quality of work where it wouldn't make sense to now drop the quality of what it is you're delivering just so that you can secure the bid. In that case, it doesn't make sense because, yes, you're able to put some money in your pocket, but overall, you're dropping the quality of what it is that you deliver, and then you're ruining the opportunity for potential business in the future. So I believe that once you get to that point where you find out that you're overqualified for a bid, I think the best thing to do is just walk away from it. Now, I've not been in these sorts of situations too much because I've changed my sales process, and usually I ask about the money questions up front over the phone, so that I don't drive all the way to the meeting and then we get there and then I find out that I shouldn't even have put in a bid in the first place, and then ended up wasting my time. But in this case, it was a meeting that I agreed to take because it was set up by a longtime friend of mine who is a wedding planner, and who really, really, really wants me to get this job so that she can get these people are actually her long-term customers. She's trying to get them to move along with a new set of vendors, just so that they can have improved quality in the deliverables that they get. So in this case, for the photography and video, so they get better quality photographs, better quality videos, things like that. So since this the person who recommended that I go for the meeting is a long-time friend of mine, I didn't think that was a problem. I just went out of professional courtesy, and well, of course, that's where I got that pushback that the price was too high. So I hope that I've been able to share some useful knowledge for those of you who have to sell yourselves and your services for a living. So there are different options to do when the person says that your price is too high. But the best thing to do is, one, don't take it personal. Number two, ask some questions so that you can find out the rationale or the basis behind why they think your price is too high. and that the information you get from that is going to inform your next course of action. Now, if you find out that the reason why they think your price is too high is because they've spoken to other vendors, and you think that those vendors don't deliver the kind of quality of work that you do, then you know it's a bid that you need to walk away from. On the other hand, if you find out that she's spoken to other vendors, and you find out the other vendors that they've spoken to are immensely more qualified than you, maybe in your own opinion, then that might just be some market feedback that maybe indeed your price is too high. But that's what they do. Number one, don't get personal when they say your price is too high. Don't take it personal when they say your price is too high. And then number two, ask questions so you can find the rationale behind it.